So this is day 4 of learning our multiplication strategies. And so up until this point, we've now covered all the strategies, but then in terms of multiplying by 6, 7, and 8, we've only really looked at the option for renaming the number of groups. But today, we're going to look at this second option, combining the other strategies to make the correct number of groups. Now, the reason we've left this to now is because in day 3, we were looking at that commutative property where we could swap around, say, 8 times 3 to think of it instead as 3 times 8. But now today we're going to specifically look at this other strategy of combining the other strategies to make the correct number of groups, and we're going to use that doing the distributive property. And to explore this further, we're going to double down on those 9 difficult multiplication facts. So we're going to choose one of these. Let's say I choose 7 times 6. And then I'm going to choose one of these numbers. In this case, I'll pick 7, and we're going to think about how could I split that up into 2 different numbers. So maybe I'm going to split it up into a 5 and a 2. And now because of the distributive property, if I multiply 5 by 6 and 2 by 6 and then add those together, I'll be able to get the answer to this problem. So if I go 5 times 6, and I put that in some brackets, and then 2 times 6, if I solve both these and add them together, I'm going to get the right answer. And now that I've split my 7 up, I'm able to use strategies from earlier in the week. So now here I can use the times 5 strategy, times 10 and halve it. 6 times 10 is 60, half of 60, that's going to be 30, plus double 6, because I've got my 2 here, 12. I know that's 30, and one more 10, 40, 42. All right, let's pick a different one. Let's do 6 and 8. I'm going to choose to split up my 6 into a 4 and a 2. And now, again using the distributive property, I'm going to go 4 times 8, put that in brackets, plus 2 times 8 equals. And so now, because I've got my times 4, I can double. Double 8 is 16, double 16 is 32, and then double 8 is 16 here. Add those together, and I've got 30, and one more 10 is 40, 6, 7, 8. 48. Now remember, my 4 times strategy is double gets me 4 groups. If I double that again, I get 8 groups. So if I want to, for this, anything multiplied 8, I can just double, and double. So double 8, 16, double 16, 32, double 32, 64. But this isn't the only way to get 8 groups. So for example, and sometimes an easier strategy is to get 10 groups first, and then take away 2 groups, because finding 2 groups is easy as well as finding 10 groups. So for example, I could go 10 times 8, that's going to get me 10 groups, and then I'll just need to take away 2 groups. So it doesn't always need to be addition to help us find the right amount of groups. In the same way we're doing for the times 9, we were timesing by 10, taking away 1 group. To find 8, we can times by 10 and take away 2 groups. So 10 times 8 is 80, 2 times 8 is 16, and now 80 takes 16, take 1, 10, 70, take 6 more is going to get us to 64 as well. And so after modelling a few examples like this, your students can choose some of these cards and have a go splitting them up in different ways. And by doing this, yes, it takes a few more steps, which is why inevitably we want them just to memorise these. But by spending some time really breaking apart these problems, when they get an answer, it's more likely to stick in their head as well. So in the future, they can just become automatic with this. But still at the same time, being able to have the conceptual understanding to break it apart and work it out if they need to.